I've been thinking about women my whole life. Not the way most men do. Not want, not need. Something more like study, like fascination. The way a scientist watches something beautiful and dangerous through glass, close enough to see everything, careful enough to stay untouched. Women have always come to me. I never fully understood why until I stopped trying to. Some things don't require explanation. Some things simply are. Seattle understands this. It's a city that doesn't ask questions. Rain falls, fog rolls in off the water. People disappear into their lives and nobody looks too closely at anyone else. I've always appreciated that about this city. I came here 20 years ago from the Bronx with nothing I wanted to keep. Left everything in the rear view. Some people call that running. I call it editing. Removing what no longer serves, keeping what does. I've always been good at editing. My name is Dorian Voss. That's what it says on my bar card. That's what it says on the placard outside my office on the 14th floor. That's what 12 jurors hear when opposing counsel introduces me across a courtroom and tries very hard to keep the fear out of their voice. They never quite manage it. I'm a criminal defense attorney, have been for 11 years. Before that, I was a drummer. Before that, I was a boy in the Bronx who loved the wrong music and paid for it every single day of his life. Heavy metal in a neighborhood that had no patience for it, no understanding of it. I was told I was confused, told I was trying to be something I wasn't, called names by people who were supposed to know me, people who shared my blood. I was the only one in any of those rooms who knew exactly what I was. I just hadn't put a name to it yet. The Bronx teaches you things no classroom ever could. It teaches you that the world has its own idea of who you're supposed to be, and it will enforce that idea whether you agree or not. It teaches you that belonging is conditional, that love has a price, that the people closest to you are often the ones least equipped to see you clearly. I learned all of those lessons early. I also learned that none of them had to define me. That was the most important lesson, the one that took the longest, the one I'm still living. The law came after the road, after the stages and the cities and the women and the years of moving through the world like smoke, present everywhere, settled nowhere. I was good at that life, better than good. I understood the road in a way that most people who live it never do. I understood that it was temporary by design, that every city was a fresh start and every woman was a story that began and ended without consequence. I was very good at stories without consequence. Something happened that made me stop. I'm not going to tell you what it was. Not yet. What I will tell you is that when I came back to stillness, when I chose Seattle and this apartment and this life, I understood myself for the first time with complete clarity. Not who the world wanted me to be, not who the Bronx decided I was before I had any say in the matter, not who the women on the road thought they were getting when they looked at me across a dark venue and made their decision. Who I actually am. And I built a life around that truth. Carefully, deliberately, the way you build anything that's meant to last. The law suits me in ways I didn't expect when I started. People find that surprising. The tattoos, the way I carry myself into a room. I've had judges look at me like I walked into the wrong building. I let them think whatever they need to think. It never changes the outcome. I've never lost a case I actually wanted to win. That's not arrogance, that's just an accurate accounting of the evidence. I understand how people work, what they're afraid of, what they want, what they'll believe if you give them just enough of the right story at exactly the right moment. Most attorneys argue law. I argue psychology. There's a difference. Law changes depending on who's in office and who's writing the books. Psychology doesn't change. Fear doesn't change. The need to believe that the world makes sense, that need has been the same since the beginning of human history. I understand that need better than most because I don't share it. I don't need the world to make sense. I've accepted that it doesn't. And that acceptance, that particular freedom from the stories people tell themselves to get through the day, is the single greatest professional advantage I have ever possessed. My former therapist told me once that I score in the 99th percentile for certain psychological traits that most people find alarming. She said it like it was a diagnosis, like something that needed correcting. I told her I considered it a competitive edge. She didn't laugh. She wasn't wrong, though. Women fascinate me because they trust their instincts and then override them. That's the thing nobody talks about. A woman will feel something, feel it in her body, in the air, in the specific quality of silence in a room, and then she'll decide she's wrong. She'll call it paranoia. She'll call it projection. She'll tell herself the feeling is about her history and not about the man standing in front of her. That gap between what she knows and what she decides to believe is where everything happens. I didn't create that gap. I didn't design it. I simply learned to recognize it, to understand it, to appreciate it the way you appreciate any elegant and consistent feature of the natural world. I've never pursued a woman in my life. I want to be precise about that. What I do is something quieter, more patient. I observe. I understand what someone needs before they've finished deciding what that is themselves. I make myself available in exactly the right way at exactly the right time. And then I wait. I am extraordinarily good at waiting. The women who have come and gone through my life would tell you different things about me if you could find them and ask. Some would tell you I was the most attentive man they'd ever known. Some would tell you I made them feel like the only person in the world. A few wouldn't tell you anything at all. The band has been together 10 years, 5 of us. None of us are trying to be anything anymore. That particular delusion came and went a long time ago, and we're all better for having let it go. We play because the music requires it, because there are parts of ourselves that have no other legitimate outlet. I sit behind that kit twice a month, and for the length of a set, my mind goes quiet in a way it never does anywhere else. 44 years of a mind that never stops, never quiets, never rests, never stops cataloging and calculating and assessing. And then I pick up the sticks, and for 90 minutes there is nothing. Just sound. Just the particular violence of metal played well in a small, dark room. I left the road because I understood what I was using it for. The constant movement, the constant newness. City after city, woman after woman, stage after stage. I was using all of it the same way, to avoid stillness, to avoid the particular clarity that comes when you stop moving and have to sit with yourself. Seattle gave me that clarity. This city and this life and this very deliberate quietness I've built around myself. I don't regret a single thing I did before I stopped. Not one. I have a code. I know how that sounds. A man like me. And people mean a great many things when they say that. Talking about a code, about principles, about lines he won't cross. But that's exactly backwards. The code isn't in spite of what I am. The code is because of it. Because I understand consequence more clearly than most people allow themselves to. Because I keep an accurate ledger when everyone around me is falsifying their accounts. Some entries in that ledger are professional. Cases won, clients protected, the machinery of justice bent in directions it needed bending. Some entries are more personal. The Bronx put certain things in motion that I've spent 20 years settling. Quietly, deliberately, on my own terms and according to my own timeline. I don't discuss those entries. Not yet. What I will tell you is that every single line in that ledger balances. I've made certain of it. I always make certain. My name is Dorian Voss. I'm a criminal defense attorney, a drummer, a man who has lived in this city for 20 years without anyone knowing the first true thing about me. I've been thinking about women my whole life, and there is one who I think about differently than all the others. One who I think about in a way I don't have language for yet. One who changed the particular quality of my silence when she walked into a room I happened to be standing in. I'm not going to tell you about her yet, but she's coming. And when she arrives, when you finally understand what she is and what I recognized in her the moment I saw her, everything I've told you tonight will make a different kind of sense. Seattle has a way of keeping secrets. So do I. But I've decided to tell you mine. All of them. You should probably decide now whether you actually want to know.